Hey, good morning. I always seem to do that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so great segue into what I'm talking about this morning. So this is a very different version of the playful life. You can see the gigantic mess behind me. And I thought, I wanted to skip coming on here today because I got a lot going on. But I thought, what a perfect way to describe everything that's going on in my life right now, other than to show you exactly what I am living with. So thanks again, everybody, for hopping on. And as always, thanks to Ron Harlow Media for letting me host this show. So a couple things. I'm moving the camera around so much. I am rebranding. So going through a bit of a shift with the look of what I'm doing and the look of the podcast, and it's exciting. We're going to be probably broadcasting from an actual studio soon. So that is really exciting. And just a new, like I said, branding name, a new website, a new social media look. So all of that is going on. So we can call that under construction, right? Crystal and my brand is under construction a little bit. So what better way to totally illustrate that other than to show you that my house is also under construction. What perfect timing that is, right? So I'm just going to walk you through this gigantic mess. So another teaching moment that I thought I would bring up is that, okay, so this is my dining room. And my husband's probably going to like really freak out that I'm showing you all this. But okay, so we're having our bathroom redone. So, I mean, you can see my house is very small anyway. So we don't have a lot of space to really move around in anyway. So you've probably seen this space right here up against the windows. This is where I did a lot of different workout videos, especially during quarantine. So that is where most of our lives are being stored right now. And I'm going to show you the bathroom just real quick here because, again, it is one of those situations where beauty comes from things that don't look so pretty sometimes, right? So this is kind of cool. I'll kind of show you here. And this is going to be really neat. So this is where the sink is going to go. And behind me here is our tile. So this is really cool. Before we had this like light blue plastic surround in here, which had probably been in this bathroom since 1950. My house is 100 years old. So this is a really cool, just fun, funky way to change it up. So really excited about that. And it kind of makes me feel like I'm in Italy when I'm going to be showering. I feel like that's a very European type of tile. And funny enough, when we picked up the tile from the store, it had centimeters on the box instead of inches. And I was like, oh, there you go, picking out the European tile. So again, I usually sit at this dining room table and like work and do my meditations and everything like that. So it's just been really, challenging, obviously, to be sort of thrown out of my normal routine and, have to really move around in a space that's small to begin with. So I'm going to pull up this here and just talk to you for a moment. So we had started that project back in the bathroom back in May. It was definitely when, quarantine was still going on and things were kind of slow. We didn't have a lot going on. So we started to tear apart the bathroom little by little. And then, of course, we got to a point where we were like, oh, we're not going to be able to do this ourselves because we were going to do it ourselves. And, we probably could, but it was going to take us a lot longer. We didn't exactly know what we were doing. And when you only have one bathroom, you can't really be out of a bathroom for months. So having no bathroom for about a week, well, I do have toilet that's functioning. So that is awesome. But being without it for a week as opposed to a couple months, for us trying to figure out how to do all that on our own, just seemed like a better option. So we looked for help, right? We looked for someone that could come in, do it quick, help us get to where we wanted, and not upset our lives too much. And what I thought, what a great metaphor for training and nutrition, and being on your journey towards your health goals. You may start, right? You may start and be like, oh, I'm gonna go for a walk today, or I'm gonna start eating healthier. And then you sort of hit a roadblock where you're like, you know what? I'm not sure I know what to do next. I'm not sure how this wall comes down. I'm not sure, how to put this tile up, whatever. I'm not sure exactly what healthy living looks like, right? So you may need some help. So call someone like me or another awesome coach, and you get on a program, and that person comes in and says, you got to do this, 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 and this, and lay it out for you. And then it just becomes so much easier, right? It just becomes tangible and it gets done. You get towards that goal. And then it turns out awesome, right? Once you get to that goal, you feel amazing. You're able to enjoy it. And I do think, once our bathroom's done and the whole house is cleaned from all the dust and all the cement dust and everything that's everywhere, and drywall dust, we're really going to enjoy it. And also, we are, another kind of exciting announcement, but we're going to be moving into a creative space. So we have partnered with one of Ron Harlow Media's sponsors, Baxter Printing, and we're actually going to be renting some space from them to have, like I said, like a podcast studio and a recording studio, and some really, really cool things are going to be happening there. So I wanted to also show you that although things can be very upset sometimes in your life or in your house, that you could still find routine and and do the things that you typically do in your daily life. So I'm going to figure out how to do this. So I want to show you how I make my morning coffee. So it's a little bit different. It's called Bulletproof Coffee, and you may have heard of it before. So I'm going to come down here and show you. I don't know where my tripod is, so I'm literally like propping my phone up against things. So yay, welcome to living life in a construction zone. Okay, so we are sort of like coffee snobs, and we like to grind our own beans. So I have my coffee grinder here, so I'll probably be loud for just a second, so close your ears if you don't want to hear the coffee grinding. It's showing you all the steps. You might say, Crystal, it takes a while to brew a pot of coffee. I'm going to say, oh no, because I use a French press. So really, other than grinding the beans and boiling the water, it doesn't take that much time really. So I already boiled the water there in my teapot kettle. And I'm actually going to place this down again. So you can probably see what's happening here. Okay. So prop this up. That. There we go. Now you can see what's happening. Okay. So again, got my French press, and this one is just like a little one serving French press. Super convenient. My husband uses this big one. So this is the amount of coffee I have, and this is the amount of coffee he has in a morning. So you can kind of see that although I love to drink my coffee, I don't overdo it, Okay, so I'm just gonna pour these grounds right into the French press and clean out some of those grounds there. Always get kind of stuck up in there. Okay. Most of it. All right, so super easy. What I'm going to do next is grab my water. And this is just water that I brought to a boil in my tea kettle. So this is just basically making coffee. So I got to make the coffee first before I make it bulletproof. You might be saying, why do you drink bulletproof coffee? Well, great question. There's a couple of reasons. You may have heard of it from like a keto point of view, and I use either this is the actual Bulletproof brand, or I visit my friend Stephanie over at the Vitamin Shop, and sometimes I just get a big thing, and sometimes it's easier to pour it out of this than this, so sometimes I just fill that in there. But it's MCT oil, and basically what MCT oil is coconut oil that's been I guess extracted or something. I don't know what they do to it, but it's medium chain triglyceride, MCT, and it comes from coconut, but it doesn't taste like coconut. So if you've heard of people putting coconut oil in their coffee and you're like, well, then my coffee is going to taste like coconut. No, this does not have any flavor. So it's clear and it doesn't have any flavor. It's not like the coconut oil you may be used to seeing, like this kind of coconut oil that comes in a jar and it's kind of thick, right? And it looks more like butter. So that's not what we're using. We're using like pure MCT organic. Well, I use organic, doesn't really matter. Coconut oil. Okay, very important so that your coffee does not taste like coconut, because that would be, I don't know. I don't think I would like that very much. I feel like that would be slightly gross. Okay, so I've got a blender. So I'm just gonna let my coffee sit for just a second. I'm gonna grab my blender here. And I just take a tablespoon, just a regular tablespoon, and I just pour the MCT oil, tablespoon there, into the blender. And then to get all that oil off, I just stick it back into my coffee because I'm going to stir my coffee. Okay? So give it a stir. With a French press, you want to kind of stir it around because you are going to press down. French press, hence the name. And you want to make sure that the grounds are nice and mixed up in there for when you do that. Here's the lid. See, it's going to press down into your French press. That's why it's called the press. And I think I might have overflowed. A little overflow. Oh. Let's get the overflow in there. Okay. So now we're just going to press it down. Should press pretty nice and easily. Okay, so I've got the MCT oil already in the blender, and I'm going to just pour in the coffee. So another reason why, I don't know if I told you why I drink this. So I like to get a dose of healthy fats in the morning, and I do something called intermittent fasting. So if you have only fats without protein or any carbohydrates in the morning, your body is still fasting because your body will be in fasting mode as long as you're not having any sugar or carbohydrates. So I do that so that I can get to at least 12 to 16 hours between dinner and then when I eat the next day. And MCT oil has really great properties for increasing brain function. So like in the morning when I get a lot of my work done, it fills me up, keeps me satiated from being hungry, and also really helps elevate my brain function during the day so that I can get a lot of stuff done. Okay, and the last ingredient is grass-fed butter. And this is my container. I usually take the butter and I cut it into tablespoons so that it's very easy for me to just pop in since I do this every day. But this is Kerrygold. Oh no, it's not backwards. That's so awesome. Okay, so this is Kerrygold Irish butter. And I get this big package at Costco, but they do have this at Aldi, and they do have it at all the grocery stores. Aldi has their own brand, of course, but it's just, there it's green actually, but this is Kerrygold Irish butter, grass-fed, and grass-fed butter has a higher amount of omega-3 in it than regular butter. So regular butter that you get from the store, it's not necessarily bad for you, but this just has a higher level of omega-3 in it. Plus, it's got something called CLA in it, which is a chemical found in animal fat that actually helps you burn fat. So I just take a tablespoon like that and drop it into my coffee. It's in the blender. So very important too, I've had a couple friends that try this and they use like a smoothie blender. Okay, so if you have something that you use for like a protein shake, like a smaller mixing cup, don't use that because you are essentially creating a lot of pressure that builds up in the with the heat from the coffee, and you can create an explosive device if you are not using the proper blender. So be sure to use a heavy duty, either glass or this one is really heavy plastic, but it's meant for making hot liquids. So I do a little bit of sea salt in mine. I tend to have very low blood pressure typically, and this just helps with some electrolytes because I typically work out in the morning before I do this. So this just kind of helps me hydrate a little bit, just a couple shakes, grinds, whatever, of sea salt. Sometimes I will use pink Himalayan. I'm talking, doing this, so it's taking a little bit longer, but usually I can do this within 5 minutes, especially because I'll turn my stove on to get my water hot, and I'll use the grind beans to get everything ready. I'll go shower. Ready to shower in a bucket. I washed my hair in my kitchen sink, and I've literally showered in like a bucket in my room for 3 days. But yesterday my husband said that I smelled nice, so it must be working. Here we go, guys. So turn my blender on. Setting is all you really need. And here we go. It's gonna be loud. Thumbs up in there. And you probably could shake it if you wanted to, but I blend it because it just makes it really creamy. And if you've ever been to a coffee house and you've gotten yourself like a cappuccino or a latte or something like that, it pretty much tastes just like that. I don't put any flavor in it, but sometimes people put, you know what, I'll put this back down. Sometimes people put vanilla. You can put vanilla extract in it. You can put caramel extract in it. You can, you know, you can have fun with it as long as you're not adding any sugar to it. So I don't do any sugar syrups, but pour that in there. It's a nice foam on the top from when we blended it. And here we go. I'm just going to show you real quick. You see that? How beautiful. And I get to drink this every day, and it's homemade and totally delicious. Brain food, good for your healthy fat consumption during your day. Get you going, get you moving, and you know, a fraction of the cost that it would be at Starbucks or Dunkin' or something like that. So cheers. I am going to get a few things done before the contractors come and start hammering and drilling away at my bathroom. And hope you enjoyed this short little snippet of the Playful Life, and more to come. Be sure to check out Ron Harlow on his show Every Day from 4 to 6. Erin Alice, the Cheeky Mom, she's got some awesome stuff going on her show Wednesday mornings, usually around 10 a.m. I think she does her show. So check out all of our sponsors. Dr. Tori's Dental Shop. I just got my teeth cleaned with Dr. Tori on Tuesday. So I got some nice shiny, bright teeth for you this morning. That's like the one thing in my life that's really clean is my teeth. All right, guys. So I will see you later. Stay playful and have an awesome rest of your week.